Hey, listen, here's the deal. We're going to talk Canada basketball right now.
Yeah, we are.
Friend of the show.
We said Canadian content.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rowan Barrett joining us now. Big game for Canada tonight and Saturday at the Mattamy Athletic Center. How you doing, Rowan?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Good time.
Can you smell the patriotism in the air as the dawn of a new day?
Sweat?
Or is that just sweat at Ryerson?
You know what? It's definitely a good day. Good moment in time here. I mean, I think there's been some good anticipation. We've had this group, been working with them now for a little bit over a year, and really our first opportunity to actually, get them on the court. And people seem to be looking forward to it. So, it seems like the fans are excited, and I'm sure we're all pretty excited ourselves as well.
Matt Devlin, Leo Routens, Eric Smith, Michael Grange with the call on Sportsnet 360 starting at 7 p.m. Is there some nerves with that, Rowan, to finally kind of get them all on the court together?
Definitely not any nerves. I think, I'm not sure, maybe from the players' perspective, from us right now, it's a slow build. We have longer-term goals than this game or simply just this summer. But obviously you want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward, especially with our first time out. But I think for us, it's just, really starting to get to see how the pieces that you're putting together really look when they come together, all together. So that's kind of where we are at the moment.
Rowan, it's a question I've thrown out there already in the show. I'll ask you. You're a bit closer to the situation. How will this team play under Jay? What is the feeling on philosophy, strategy? How are they going to look? You going to run half court? What's it going to be?
I mean, I think when you look at the athletes that we have, I think you almost have to make sure that you're not just going to sit in the half court and play. You definitely want to try to speed things up a little bit. That being said, to be successful in this style of basketball, you absolutely have to be able to play, in the half court and be able to execute, in the half court set. So, I think there'll be a mixture of both, but definitely we're going to try to defend it and get out, absolutely on the break.
Executive Vice President of Canada Basketball, Rowan Barrett, joining us here on Tim and Sid. What are you looking for in these two games against Jamaica?
I think that, as I said, I think you want to start to see how some of the combinations that we've been thinking about, you want to see how they start to work together. You definitely want to see, the leadership. You want to start to see which players step forward from that perspective. I think we have a pretty clear indication of, who those could be, but, you also need to see it in competition. And I think key for us is really just establishing the culture to start with, that we want to play with defensively. If you're going to win anything long term, you just have to be able to defend. And, for us, that'll be our number one focus, I think, right now.
Attendance-wise tonight, Rowan, down at Ryerson, how many tickets have been sold? What if people are walking up? How many are left?
I think that, we've done a decent job selling tickets. I mean, there are still tickets there. If people are going to walk up, absolutely. But, we are expecting, a pretty good crowd tonight. So, it'll be exciting for our guys, hopefully. And hopefully we'll be able to fill the stadium.
There may be some green and yellow in those stands as well, Rowan?
I suspect you'll probably have, some people in there double fisted, with both flags and everything else. And it's good. I mean, obviously there's a pretty large contingent in this city, from Jamaica, and I'm sure that they'll be coming out and they'll be proud of their group as well. And, but at the same time, they have our homegrown boys here as well that they've been following too. So, I expect to hear cheers on both sides.
It's funny. Paul Jones wrote an article, I don't know if you saw it, on sportsnet.ca today about the Canadians and the list of Canadians that are on this team or surrounding this team with Jamaican ancestry. Tristan Thompson has come on this show and spoken patois before, so we know he's got a little Jamaican in him. Rock Anderson, Andrew Nicholson, Javon Shepard, Junior also has some Jamaican, and you have some Jamaican ancestry, don't you?
Absolutely. I
was just going to say, so it's kind of nice that it all comes to fruition against Jamaica.
You know what? I mean, it's funny. Jamaican Independence Day was on August 6th, and we did host a reception there for them. And it was just an interesting moment thinking about the country and what any country really gets when you're looking at achieving your independence and the freedom that comes from that, and the freedom in thought, and the want and the desire to dream even larger and even outside of your borders. And I think that many of these players, many people you mentioned, are examples of that, of people that were able to dream larger, dream outside their borders, and have now come to Canada, and they're doing a great job here in the country here. So definitely, it's kind of come full circle, and it's a good moment for sure.
Rowan, well said. But at the end of the day, you would like to crush their
Smack
souls
them,
tonight. Like, this is all fine and good, but you would just like to step on their throats and say, "This is our house.
This is what's coming."
Look, at the end of the day, this is still sports, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still sports. There's got to be a winner. There's got to be a loser. And obviously, anytime we suit up, we're looking to win. That's for sure. But again, like I said, I think for us, it's the longer term play. Like a 1 point win, is not necessarily the same as a 20-point win. A 1 point loss sometimes is better than a win. I mean, it depends on where you are in terms of what you're trying to build and where we are against that. And so I think those are going to be the things that the coaches are going to be looking at today, as well as us in the management.
Well, we had an interesting conversation, and it kind of ties to attendance. And I know that you have a different vantage point and some different interests in it. But we had a conversation about the attendance, and the growth of basketball in this country is obvious by simply Anthony Bennett going first overall in the NBA draft, by the Toronto Raptors, by what you guys are doing. Eventually, is there the need for not just corporate support, but for a sold-out Mattamy Center or a sold-out ACC, as it would be for hockey in this country?
I mean, I definitely think in terms of atmosphere and environment, you definitely want to have that. I mean, those are the things that really drive kids out to wanting to play the game. And I think that when you start looking at building a basketball culture, I mean, you look at the population of Lithuania, and you look at the types of results that they put up pretty consistently.
Good point.
It's not about the population necessarily, but it's about what the culture, what the fervor is, for those players in that sport. And you're right. I think when you start filling out arenas, you get people excited, you get people buzzing, you get people thinking, wanting, and kids striving to want to be there. And what that does is it further pushes out the developmental parts of the game. It further pushes out participation. It creates a greater demand for learning and teaching and coaching. And all those things you need to have. When you look at all the top countries in the world, they have those things. So, at the same point, I think we are moving more and more in that direction. I don't know that I've been a part of the national team program for many, many years. I don't know that I've ever seen that many media at one of our practice sessions.
Yeah.
That I've seen in this past week. So, clearly there is something afoot. But you do definitely want to see that as well exemplified in the fans that come out. And my hope is that the fans will come out in droves today.
Rowan, just for the record, whoever's testing the horn, tell them it's good.
I thought Rowan was subbing in.
The test is over, and we can now continue the interview without the annoying horn in the background.
You know what? It's funny. As you're speaking, I'm actually sitting here watching. I'm up at Humber College, and I'm watching our junior academy boys.
Oh, nice.
That are on the court right now. We have some of the top grade 7s and 8s in the province here that we've been training all year, that are all vying and trying to get up into the national team. And they'll be out. They'll be getting honored today, and they'll be out there as well. So if you're watching, you'll be able to see them as well. But I'm here evaluating, doing a little bit of evaluating, looking at kids that within 2 or 3 years will be, in our program. So
game day and working, Rowan.
Yeah. You know what? That's the job, right? Make sure that we know what we have and make sure that we're doing the job to cultivate it. So, we see more and more of these players coming out.
That is, Rowan, that is the job. But the startling thing for us, especially with this program, is guys in the past that may have had your job were way lazier than you.
Yeah, it's true.
And on a game day, they'd be like, you know what, I'm just going to wait for the buffet in the media room, and I'm going to take this game in. No. You're up at Humber College. By the way, shout out class of 97, Humber College. Yeah. Throw that out.
Wow.
And
you know what? I got to be honest. I think that, NSOs are always just chronically underfunded, and one of the things we've been trying to do in the past year is build that. build it up so that we do have a little bit more support, a little bit more staffing, so that maybe on a day like this, I can get out here and do this where that might not have been the case, in the past. So we're not where we're gonna be, but we're definitely on our way for sure.
There's a definite connection to two things that Sid and I both feel passionate about: Canada soccer and Canada basketball. And if we can get both to those levels, I think everyone will have a lot more fun going out to the games like you can tonight as Canada takes on Jamaica on Sportsnet 360 at 7 p.m. Executive VP Rowan Barrett, thanks a lot as always for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.